Imagine this. You're standing on the edge of the biggest day of your life. Tomorrow you're supposed to walk down the aisle, say your vows, and marry the person you thought was your soulmate. Friends and family have flown in, the dress is ready, the flowers are set, and your heart is racing with excitement. But instead of preparing for a lifetime of happiness, you stumble upon a heartbreaking truth. Your fiancé is cheating. And not just with anyone, but with one of your closest friends, a bridesmaid. This is the story of one woman's shocking discovery, how her entire world fell apart in just one night, and why the internet is calling her a hero for what she did next. I'm a 27-year-old woman, and up until recently I thought I had the perfect life. I had been dating my fiancé for 5 years. We met in college, fell in love almost instantly, and everyone said we were the kind of couple who would last forever. When he proposed last year, it felt like a dream come true. He got down on one knee during a weekend trip and asked me to be his wife. I remember crying tears of joy and calling my parents immediately after. Over the months, we planned everything: the venue, the guest list, the food, and all the little details. My friends were so supportive, especially my bridesmaids, who kept saying how lucky I was to have found such a loyal and loving guy. The night before the wedding, my family had organised a small gathering at the hotel where most of the guests were staying. Everyone was laughing, drinking, and enjoying themselves. People gave little speeches about love and marriage, and I felt like the luckiest woman alive. But late at night, after everyone started heading to bed, I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned, thinking about how tomorrow would change my life forever. So I decided to step outside for some fresh air. That was the moment that changed everything. The discovery, 4 mins. When I walked through the lobby and toward the parking lot, I noticed a familiar car. At first, I didn't think much of it, but then I saw 2 figures inside. I squinted, trying to make out who they were. The closer I got, the clearer it became. My heart stopped. It was my fiancé and one of my bridesmaids. They weren't just talking, they were kissing. Not a quick, friendly kiss, a deep, passionate one. I froze. My body felt numb. My mind kept telling me, this can't be real. Maybe I'm imagining it. But then I saw him put his hand on her cheek, the same way he used to touch me when we first started dating. I felt sick. I wanted to scream, to bang on the car window, to demand answers right then and there. But instead, I stood there in shock, watching as the man I was about to marry and the woman I considered a close friend betrayed me in the most painful way. They eventually left the car and went back inside separately like nothing had happened. I didn't confront them. I just walked back to my room, locked the door, and broke down in tears. I cried the entire night, clutching my wedding dress, thinking about how everything I had dreamed of was gone in an instant. The confrontation, 3 mins. The next morning, I pulled my parents aside and told them everything. My mother's face went pale and my father's hands clenched in anger. They both told me there was no way I could marry him after what he had done. When I confronted my fiancé, he looked shocked. Not guilty, but angry. He begged me not to ruin the wedding and insisted it was just a mistake. He claimed he had been drunk, that it didn't mean anything, and that we should just go through with the ceremony. But to me, it meant everything. I asked him point blank, if you can cheat on me the night before our wedding, what will you do after we're married? When things get hard? When I trust you completely? He had no answer. I decided right then and there that I couldn't go through with it. At the venue, with both families gathered, I stood in front of everyone and made an announcement. My voice was shaking, but I said it anyway. There will be no wedding today. The man I was supposed to marry betrayed me last night, and I refuse to marry someone who doesn't respect me or our commitment. Gasps filled the room. Some people looked shocked. Others applauded me. My bridesmaid, the one he cheated with, couldn't even look me in the eye. My fiancé stormed out, accusing me of humiliating him and ruining his life. Some relatives whispered that I should have gone through with the wedding and work things out later. but I knew in my heart that I had made the right decision. I wasn't just cancelling a wedding, I was saving myself from a lifetime of pain. When I shared this story online, the internet exploded with support. Here are some of the top comments from Reddit. You saved yourself years of misery. If he cheats the night before the wedding, he was never committed to you in the first place. Cheating is not a mistake, it's a choice. And he made that choice knowing he was about to marry you. Your relatives who told you to go through with it are insane. Why waste thousands of dollars and years of your life on a man who already broke his vows before the wedding even started? You are brave. Many people would have ignored it and gone through with the marriage. You chose self-respect, and that's powerful. So what do you think? Was I right to call off the wedding immediately, or should I have given him another chance? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you've ever faced betrayal like this, share your story. Don't forget to subscribe to Drama Diaries for more unbelievable real-life stories.